Hi, this is Larry J. Feldman, and I want to talk about showing you how to create a climate of positivity within your own life. You know, we're in some very difficult times. At least people think they are. I mean, interest rates are really high. People are sweating buying a car, buying a house. Groceries are high. Gas is really high. And then, if all that wasn't enough, you read about AI and people go, oh my God, is a robot going to be taking my place? But you have to understand that the world has always been a turbulent place. Hey, we're Americans. When people tell me how horrendous and how scary things are now, I just know they haven't paid attention to the history of our country, or maybe the history of the world. George Washington fought multiple battles, fought a war with people with no uniforms and half the time no ammunition. And we were fighting probably the most organized force on earth, the British. But we found a way. How about the Civil War? Here you have two groups of people fighting over one of the most basic human concepts, that everybody deserves to be free. Almost tore the country apart. But we healed. And we healed after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, who most people consider our greatest president. By the way, I'm not one of them. I put him at number 2. I think Washington was the man, because the first is always the most difficult. If you don't believe me, look up Jackie Robinson, as opposed to ball players that complain only $20 million a year is not enough money. That's a whole nother talk. We've always faced tragedies. Hey, we just went through COVID. But in Philadelphia 100 years ago, we had a plague that took out 100,000 people, which proportionally is an obscene number when you consider how much smaller the population of the United States was back then. Somehow we find a way. Hey, we survived the Vietnam War. Depending your political side, we survived Richard Nixon, right? That was a little scary. All I'm telling you is, if you take a deep breath and realize that we're still capable of doing a lot of wonderful things, and of course, it's got to start with you. If we rely too much on other people, on our government, or anybody, we have to start setting a positive trend ourselves. Being upbeat. See, we forget sometimes how important we can be to other people. Sometimes somebody's having a really bad day and just a little smile or a nice comment can change their whole attitude around. Certainly, being positive is its own reward, right? They say virtue has to be its own reward because they've stopped giving out trophies for it. But it feels good to feel good about yourself, and even better, to make other people feel good. How can we be positive? We need to look forward and maybe stop looking backward. We've got to realize things always have a chance to get better, and that a lot of times the things that changes are our attitude. If we feel good and we're positive about things, we can make things happen. If you don't believe me, think about it. Think about the last time somebody said to you, you're not going to like this. They haven't even said it yet. You already don't like it. We all know about the power of positive thinking, but we maybe don't dwell enough on the horrible effects of negative thinking, of what happens when we're not positive, when we don't put people in a position to feel good about themselves or get excited. Again, I'm just going on to things I've observed my whole life. I've seen people do a spectacular job. And instead of their manager hugging them and going, boy, you're the best, they go, about time you did something right. Shakespeare called it damning with faint praise. We need to be positive. And the worse things get, the more negative things get on the outside, it's much more important for us on the inside to be positive. Be a font of positivity. Let everybody around us understand, you call me, you're going to get a smile. I'm going to get you to feel good about yourself because I feel good about myself. Let's build a positive climate. Let's really put people in a position where they're glad to talk to us, they're glad to know us, they're glad to associate with us. Hey, right? My boy Ben Franklin said it beautifully. I'll paraphrase him a little bit. He said, if you love life, cherish time. Because that's what life is made of. We're only here for a short visit. Let's turn up the positivity level. Let's get excited. Let's get people around us excited. You'll see an immediate change. Be excited, be positive, and I guarantee you'll see the people around you perk up also. I'm Larry Feldman, and thank you so much for listening to my Larry Talks.